Greetings, everyone. Before I jump into today's video, I am going to give you a definition of a word or expression that I've used in the past and I'm going to use again today. And the word is sugar daddy. Now, for me, this is just my opinion or my understanding of the word sugar daddy. It is an older man, a more distinguished gentleman who pursues a younger woman. He sees younger women like eye candy for him to carry on his arm. There's something about uh, sugar daddy when he's dating or he's married to a younger woman. It makes him seem more virile. It's like an image thing. And so I have stated in the past that Kim married a sugar daddy. And there are a lot of young women, or older women too, who have daddy issues, whether the daddy was absent because he was just a deadbeat daddy or is absent because is no longer in this world. And so sometimes a young woman like Kim might fall in love with an older man because he promises to protect her, or at least that's the impression that someone like Boo, for example, would give her, that he's going to protect her. But I'm going to say again that Boo, has a certain stature. And when you look at him, he commands this, you know, sugar daddy look like, I am going to take care of you. I'm a man of influence and affluence. And so when we're looking at this interview with Kim and her brother, and they're clearly talking about the green card saga, with people thinking that she only married him for green card. That certainly was not the only reason, because she was a career person. She's an educated woman. I'm sure she could probably apply to go to the university in the States to study or to work. And so she didn't just have to rely on a green card to get to America. However, I'm going to debunk some of Kim's argument if she wishes to speak the truth. She said that she fell in love with for love's sake alone, and that is not true. She fell in love with the idea of having a husband that will love her and give her a certain lifestyle. Kim is a worldly woman, and Kim loves to travel. And I can just imagine her meeting him and all the promises he's making to her. I'm thinking she's marrying him because she's thinking he can fulfill these promises. Now, Kim, if you're listening to this video and you're going to disagree with what I'm saying, I'm going to say, look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. You married Boo because of all the promises he was making, and the idea of making your dreams to be a world traveler, to really be associated to somebody who is about something, because you are about something. You made sure you take the path towards success. And now, why shouldn't you have a man on your arm that can provide or maintain that success? So the idea of that just being in love for the sake of being in love is not true, because Kim, you would not marry a man in Jamaica who was a farmer, and nothing is wrong with farmers. I'm just saying a farmer who's even making, his rounds and doing okay. You would never marry a guy who might be a nice person, but doesn't have much to offer you. And I'm not saying you should, because a lot of time women settle for less than what they deserve. As I listened to the series and the questions being asked by her brother, good job, by the way, Chris, you're doing a great job. You did a great job asking the questions that people have, or answers that people want to hear, because sometimes when people are interviewing individuals, especially when they're close to them, they don't want to ask the real questions, and you certainly did. But I just don't understand why some people are so invested in this thing to where they're just going after her. And it seems, as she said in the interview, I did not divorce him. And you could put on that, I'm not the one who filed for divorce first. He did. Now, here's what's happening with both of them. They both got into the relationship with the idea that this is going to be forever. But on her husband's side, and a lot of young people need to listen to this, when you meet somebody and you're expecting that they're going to give you a great life and the fairy tale and the romance, is something so fresh in your mind, you will make some terrible mistake, and that fairy tale romance could become very deadly. Thank goodness it never went there for you and your husband, Boo, but it has for many people. Now, as you were planning to live this great life with him, he was also making his plans to say, if you think you are coming to America, because remember, people already poisoned his mind. People already told him time and time again, this young girl is only using you. So he had his plans. He's saying to himself, oh, yeah, if she thinks she's coming to use me, she better think again. In fact, I am thinking that if she try anything, she's going to have to take care of me. And Kim, of course, she's saying, this was forever for me. But Kim also knew that if this doesn't work out, she can just take away herself. Now, where the therapy comes in, I do believe she needed therapy because guess what? It happened so fast. You see, the fairy tale ended very fast after she got to America because if you watch the videos, the cracks were showing very early. For example, when Boo used to say every time she's kiki, 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 that to him, he realized that they had nothing in common. And she clearly knew she had nothing in common with this man. She goes there with the idea that they're going to live a nice, comfortable life and see with this big pigeon coop that he's taking care of. And I'm sure he expected her to help him feed those pigeons, to help him take care of those birds. He kind of expected her, for some reason, to be out on the porch, rocking with him in the evening after they feed the pigeons. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know, where he's coming from with that idea. If he needed to change his glasses early to see that there's absolutely no way this young girl would be able to fulfill that. People have asked Bo in the past, would you marry someone who's older? And he says, well, this is my wife. This is who I'm with. I can't think about that because the answer would have been no. And in my opinion, in fact, Kim got too old for him. He lost interest in her when he realized the fantasy he was holding in his mind towards this young girl was not a real one. A lot of men and women find themselves in relationships where they build these pipe dreams, they have these fantasies, and then when the reality of living under the same roof hits, it's a whole other thing. The LDR is called long distance relationship is so exciting with you when you go to see your partner when you're leaving the highs and the lows. But when you get together and you live under the same roof, you, I am sure everything that was ever wrong with Boo, she started noticing it. And everything that was ever wrong with Kim, OMG, he noticed it too. The relationship didn't work out because as much as they were great pranksters and they seemed to, synchronize their story so well, it was clearly a mismatch and a match that would take so much. Even people who are genuinely in love, who are the same age group or otherwise, who are sincerely in love and want to make that marriage work out, the beginning, the first early years are going to be difficult as you get to understand each other. You get to, be able to understand each other's love language, so on and so forth. The relationship didn't work out, people. You need to get over it. And for those of you who want to tie down Kim on a man who didn't even want to tie himself down with her, he clearly didn't want to tie himself down with her. Otherwise, he wouldn't have picked the pigeons. He clearly wouldn't have wanted to tie himself down. Otherwise, he would want to put her in a home where he could say, I am the woman of this household. Okay? Nothing is lost. They both came together. They fulfilled the purpose that the universe had for them. Kim got a green card out of it, and he had this time with her where he felt young again. Understand that now? Listen to that. Now, Kim is she innocent and she's just this pure soul? Of course not. None of us are. Was her intention 100% pure? Nobody's intention is ever pure when it comes to relationship. You want something from that man, and that man wants something from you. And in exchange of these two things, somewhere in the middle, love comes, or it's possible to grow deeper. But I don't get it. Now she's having a baby, and this is the whole thing. Who is the other man? Well, the other man is a woman, sorry, is a man that connected with Kim on some levels. Kim is not just hiding the man from the internet because she know what you all are like. She learned from her past mistakes, but she's also hiding him because when if you knew who he was, it would be a whole different saga. Let me tell you, even Boo could have his feathers ruffled if you knew her man. The obsession with wanting to know who someone is sleeping with is just kind of disturbing, to be honest with you. And if she chooses to keep him private, also understand that this person, if it's anybody of integrity or value, has an autonomy, has the right to say, this is your thing, this is not my thing. Not everybody likes this. Whether you want to call him her baby daddy or call him her husband in the future, whatever the story is, they're choosing to keep that part of their life separate and apart from what's going on with social media. And I don't blame her. I said it before, girl, keep him off. But the truth is, it's only so long before prying eyes will go search to find out who he is. She might change her mind that one day, if she's getting married, you might get to see him, glimpse him. But that's all there is to that. Finding that person that brought her joy in those difficult days, I'm sure is something that was good for her mental health. And to always cry and bemoan someone who says, I don't want to. Remember, he filed for divorce and then took it back. That was not the first time he filed for divorce. I think it's something about his ego too. He realized that the ship had sailed and that they really had nothing in common. And for his ego's sake, he's the one to file for divorce so he doesn't feel like he has pie in his face. Boo decided to end things with Kim when they went on the cruise. And Kim was at the party. She was partying at the nightclub while he went home to pack. Any blind man could see that this was like a father and a daughter situation. He couldn't keep up with her, and she had no intention to even pretend. That whole trip, in fact, was to silence social media because she was just doing what she needed to do to get some peace and to continue in her journey in the United States of America. And I can't say I blame her. And those of you who want to blame her, you're being hypocrites. And many of you encourage your family members to lie to men or women overseas. You're in relationship or they're in relationship and you encourage them to go deceive other people in America so you can get an opportunity. I have seen this justified over and over again. You never think about the other woman in America or the other man in America who's coming to marry your loved one or your friends. You tell them just do it. Even people who are legal in America, you hear people saying just sort out yourself, fix your situation. They don't care who they hurt. So I don't know why Jamaican people are acting like they care about Kim, deceiving Boo like that. If that was true, when that's what they encourage all the time. Stay blessed, everyone.